It's 9:30 now. The fallout from last month's deep freeze in Texas is still being felt, especially for pets.
Yeah, animal rescue organizations are racing to save animals in desperate need of new homes. Joining us live to chat about how you can help, Azure Davis, founder of Twin Cities-based Rough Start Rescue. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so Texas is always kind of a rough spot, no pun intended, in terms of overall animal health, it appears like, and animal rescues. So you're taking multiple trips down there to bring pets back. Tell us about that.
Yeah, Rough Start, every month we go down and help Texas. A lot of the Houston and Laredo area, which is down by the border. So we're helping dogs, every month, and it's always, like you said, it's rough in Texas for the animals. Animal welfare it's a big thing down there. There's a lot of rescues, a lot of shelters, but there's not enough. There's dogs all over the streets. Overpopulation is huge. And actually, it's as far as the United States, it's the largest euthanasia area in the U.S. For pets. So since the winter storm, it's more now of a desperate need than ever. There's a lot of people that when the storm was coming, they actually went around, collecting dogs basically off the streets because there were just strays all over. And people were desperate. They were bringing them into the shelters as much as they could. But the shelters were, and still are, over capacity and also functioning at limited capacity since COVID. So there hasn't been really any space for these dogs that people are collecting off the streets. So what's happening is people have these animals, these dogs, even some cats too, in their homes still because they brought them in, frantically trying to get them off the streets so they didn't freeze to death. But there's not room in the shelter. And so we're trying to basically clear the shelters, bring animals to Minnesota to make room for those displaced dogs. The pets that are down there in shelters, they don't have very long. They only have like a 3-day stray hold. And if they're overpopulated, unfortunately, they're euthanized.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't understand that. And we've learned that, as you said, dogs are on the streets, dogs and cats, animals, they're taken into these shelters. It's overcrowded. So the conditions are horrible right now. And for people who want to help here in Minnesota, I'm guessing that, they can bring some of these animals into their homes. How can they do that?
Absolutely. So we're actually bringing 150 plus dogs over the next 30 days to Minnesota from Texas. So we have fosters down in Texas who have gone and got animals out of the shelters. They're just kind of waiting there now. And we have lists every single day that we're getting of emails and phone calls of animals that need us down there. So the way you can help in Minnesota is to sign up to foster with Rough Start Rescue. We need more foster homes here. We're 100% foster based. So we really need people to open their homes here so we can help the animals there, make room in that shelter so that those animals aren't just thrown back onto the streets because people can't keep them in their homes.
And we know, obviously, Texas is a poor spot. How are we doing here in Minnesota? I mean, do we have open shelters? Do we have room to take more animals? There's always a need for the animals themselves, but how is Minnesota faring?
Right. The whole Midwest, honestly, is a lot better than the southern states. And, we have better spay-neuter laws. People love their animals in the Midwest. We're very fortunate. Adoption's a big thing up here. But also, we don't have, the year-round breeding season like they have in Texas. The weather is always nice, obviously, besides the winter storm that they had. But they have year-round breeding season, where in Minnesota, that's not really a thing. Coming up in a couple months, it will be puppy kitten season. So that will be a thing here soon. But the shelters and the humane societies, not to say there's never a need in Minnesota. Obviously, like you said, there is. There's, animals that always need us here. We're always helping locally first. That's our priority. But it's nothing like Texas or just even a lot of the southern states.
Okay. And who do you have there on your lap? Who's your pup?
This is Lance. I actually adopted him through Rough Start. And he came from Houston, Texas, and he was going to be euthanized. He was in the shelter there, and it was just due to no space left, overpopulation. And so him and his siblings came up about 6 years ago, and he's definitely spoiled rotten.
The way he should be.
Azure, it's a pleasure talking to you. And as we just learned not too long ago, we are actually related on 23andMe. The weird things people brought together by 23andMe, but I guess we're second or third cousins. We're still trying to figure that out.
Yeah, small world. And one other thing, too, I was going to say, if people want to help in Texas or help Rough Start, donations are obviously, they're always needed. That's a huge need besides fostering. With the van expenses, hotel stays, getting the volunteers to go down there, that's a huge need for us, especially 5 trips going down this month. But we also have some Amazon wish lists posted on our Facebook that you can send supplies directly down to the shelters in Texas.
Okay. Well, thanks, Azure. Azure Davis. Thanks for joining us. All right, for more information on adoption and available pets, visit roughstartrescue.org. Let's right ahead in our lightning round. 4 hands are better than 2, especially when moving a refrigerator, right? Wait until you see the